On Wednesday, March 13th, the sun is going to move into the gate 36 and the earth is going to move into the gate 6. Let's get ready for a kind of intense and emotional transit during this time, because both of these two gates are on the emotional solar plexus. So they are emotional, and both of them can be a little bit tricky. So let's talk about the gate 36 first. So the 36 is known as crisis in traditional human design, or exploration in quantum human design. So you can see right here what I'm saying. It can be a little bit tricky, this energy of the 36. So the 36 is in the sensing circuit. So it's creative, it's right-brained, it's experiential, and it really likes adventure. It really likes to explore. It really wants to engage. This whole channel that going from the emotional solar plexus up to the throat is all about, trying things out, adventure, exploration, and all of that. But the crisis can arise when we are not paying enough attention to what's going on. We're leaping into doing things. We're not giving it time. Remember, one of the themes for the emotional solar plexus is that we have to give it time. If you're emotionally defined, you really have to give yourself time to make good decisions for yourself. But anything having to do with the emotional solar plexus needs time. And so we can throw ourselves into crisis if we are, leaping into things because it seems attractive. We can get a little bit of shiny object syndrome happening here because there can be a desire for more and more experience. And it can also lead us to a little bit of a jaded quality. So that jaded is, kind of the disempowered aspect, because it's like, oh, been there, done that, already happened, right? Like that. And so the invitation in the more awakened expression is to really stay fresh, to be open to experience, to, even if you've done something before, to come to it with beginner's mind or with a fresh attitude and open heart, so that you can really enjoy what you're doing as you're exploring it and diving into it. But if you're doing it because you're afraid or because you're chasing after, desire, because that can happen here, then you definitely can find yourself in a state of crisis to a degree. This is also a place where you can break patterns of the past when you're recognizing the way that you may have at some point, been doing this kind of creating crises for yourself. And so you can break these patterns of the past so that you truly can have that kind of freshness and exploratory quality to your engagement. And then the earth is lighting up the gate 6, and the gate 6 is a little bit of a tricky energy. So it's in the defense circuit, which is tribal circuitry. And it has what's called aura busting qualities. So all 4 of the gates and the 2 channels in the defense circuit all have aura busting qualities. And so what does that mean? Well, it is that the energy kind of penetrates. It kind of moves out and it penetrates. And when we have it as a transit that's big like this with the earth, just remember, everyone's going to have that. You want to be giving people a little bit of extra space. You want to give them the benefit of the doubt, because their energy might feel like it's kind of strong coming at you. That's why it's been renamed Impact in quantum human design, because the 6 definitely has this penetrating, impactful energy. Now, it's also part of the channel of love and war in traditional human design, or the channel of mating, because its mate, the 59, is known as sexuality in traditional human design. So there is a lot of kind of sexual energy. And the 6 gets to kind of work with that 59 energy to see, is this a good time to engage sexually with others? Is intimacy a safe thing? Because, emotional energy is going to want intimacy, but it's going to want that intimacy to be safe. And so the 6 helps to kind of sort that piece out. So as the earth is here, you want to ground yourself in the understanding that this energy can be impactful, and it can kind of create some friction if you're not paying attention to it. But it can also be a lovely way of sorting out, is this a good time for intimacy? Is this a good person for intimacy? It doesn't always have to be sexual, but it can be. So it can help you make those kinds of decisions. And then that is creating a foundation for the earth that's in the gate 36. And it can help you to stay out of that crisis mode and be more in that exploratory phase if you're really just kind of honing in with that emotional energy to be like, is this a good time for something or not? So you want to watch out for this particular transit because it is one that could go sideways more easily than some of others because it does have all that emotional energy. And we do have that potential for conflict that can happen in that part of the defense circuit, and which is why it's called the channel of love and war. But just remember, this is not the war like we're seeing in the world today, like what's happening in Palestine or what's happening in Ukraine. It's not that kind of war. This is more about the ways that families can war with each other, or it could be tribal. And in some ways, those wars that I just mentioned are tribal conflicts. They have long histories. Going back, many generations, but the scale that they're at is much bigger than tribal. It's much more global, collective energy in human design, but much bigger energies happening there. So just watch out for conflict, come back into your heart, tone down your emotions, find the right time, and have some fun. Go exploring with the right people and at the right time.